The world will test you. It will send storms you did not ask for and present battles you did not seek. In these moments, you will see two kinds of people, those who are shattered by adversity and those who are forged by it. The difference is not in the challenges they face, for challenges are inevitable, but in the internal fortress they have built. The fragile mind sees a setback as a final verdict. It wastes energy arguing with reality. It retreats at the first sign of discomfort, and it looks for others to save it. It is loud, it is desperate, and it is defeated before the fight truly begins. But the unbreakable mind operates from a different code. It understands that true strength is not the absence of problems, but the mastery of one's response. It is a quiet, deliberate, and profound power cultivated from within. This is not a gift you are born with. It is a discipline you learn. It is a weapon you forge. It is the art of turning hardship into fuel and pressure into power. This is the path from being a victim of circumstance to being the architect of your own strength. It is built upon 5 foundational lessons. Lesson 1. Embrace radical acceptance. See the battlefield as it is. The first lesson in building an unbreakable mind is to stop wasting energy on battles that are already over. This is the practice of radical acceptance. Do not confuse this with resignation. Resignation is passive. It is the white flag of the defeated. Acceptance is a strategic act of clarity. It is the general surveying the battlefield, not as he wishes it were, but as it truly is. So much of human weakness comes from arguing with what is. This should not have happened. It is not fair. This is the noise of a mind at war with itself. It is a pointless rage against a storm that does not listen. It drains your resources and clouds your judgment. Radical acceptance is the act of silencing this internal noise. You look the hard truth in the eye and state, this is the situation. The project failed. The opportunity is gone. The trust was broken. Acknowledging this reality, without judgment or denial, is the first move of a strategist. It does not mean you approve of the situation, but you accept its existence. Only from this point of clarity can you ask the most powerful question, now what? This question shifts you from the past to the future. It moves you from a position of weakness to a position of command. You cannot plan your next move if you are still fighting the last one. You cannot win the war if you refuse to acknowledge the outcome of the battle. See reality for what it is. Let this clarity be the ground upon which you build your victory. This is how you reclaim your power. Lesson 2. Your discomfort is your compass. Move towards the fire. Most people live their lives in a state of retreat. At the first sign of discomfort, of challenge, of fear, of uncertainty, their instinct is to pull back into what is safe and known. They see comfort as the goal. This is a fatal error. The second lesson is this. Discomfort is not a warning to stop. It is a compass pointing directly toward growth. Growth and comfort cannot exist in the same space. Every skill you've ever admired, every piece of strength you've ever possessed, was earned on the other side of discomfort. Think of it as forging a blade. The steel does not become strong by sitting in a cool room. It is heated, hammered, and plunged into the fire. It is the stress that makes it sharp. It is the pressure that makes it unbreakable. You must learn to reframe the sensation of discomfort. It is not a threat. It is a signal that you are creating the conditions for strength. When you feel that internal resistance, that urge to retreat, you must learn to recognize it for what it is, the boundary of your current capabilities. The strong do not stop at this boundary. They push into it. They lean into the fire. Practice this intentionally. Seek out the conversation you have been avoiding. Volunteer for the task that makes you nervous. Start the project you feel unprepared for. At first it will feel like a violation of your instincts, but soon you will notice something change. You will discover that the fear was an illusion, and that on the other side of that feeling is competence. Resilience is not built by feeling good. It is built by getting better at navigating what feels hard. Let your discomfort guide you. It is pointing toward the person you are meant to become. Lesson 3. Build boundaries. Control the gates. For too long, you have been taught there are only 2 options in dealing with others. Open gates that let everyone in, or high walls that let no one in. The first leaves you drained and exploited. The second leaves you isolated. Both are strategic failures. The third lesson is to reject this false choice. Do not build walls. Build boundaries. A wall is a crude instrument of fear. It says, keep out. A boundary is a sophisticated tool of power. It is a gate, and you are the gatekeeper. It says, "This is where my territory begins. This is what I will allow, and this is what I will not." It is not about shutting the world out, it is about controlling the terms of engagement. A lack of boundaries is a sign of a lack of self-respect. It signals to the world that your time, your energy, and your focus are not valuable. People-pleasing is not kindness. It is a declaration that everyone else's agenda is more important than your own. This path leads only to resentment and burnout, leaving you with no reserves for the fights that truly matter. Building a boundary starts with quiet observation. Notice what drains you. Notice what makes you feel resentful. These feelings are signals that a boundary has been crossed. Your response must be clear, calm, and firm. A simple no is a complete and powerful statement. You do not need to justify or apologize for protecting your resources. When you begin to enforce your boundaries, some will protest. Those who have benefited from your lack of them will test you. Their reaction is data. It reveals their true intentions. Those who respect you will respect your boundaries. Those who do not reveal that they see you not as a person, but as a resource. Let them reveal themselves. Boundaries are not selfish. They are the act of a sovereign mind that understands that to command your life, you must first command your own space. Lesson 4. Master the strategic failure. Every outcome is data. The single greatest force that holds people captive is the fear of failure. They see it as a verdict, a permanent mark of shame. This fear makes them timid. It keeps them silent. It ensures they never attempt anything great. The fourth lesson is a liberation from this prison. Failure is not a verdict. Failure is data. The most dominant forces in any field do not avoid failure. They utilize it. They understand that progress is a process of iteration. An experiment that does not yield the expected result is not a failure. It is an outcome that provides new information. It shows you what does not work, which is just as valuable as knowing what does. You must adopt the mindset of a scientist or a general. Every action is a test. Every project is an experiment. A rejection is merely feedback from the system. A mistake is a lesson in disguise. When you detach your ego from the outcome, you neutralize the power of fear. The event is no longer a judgment on your worth. It is simply a data point on the path to your objective. How do you apply this? By taking calculated action and analyzing the results without emotion. Ask not, "Why did I fail?" Ask, "What did this teach me? What variable must I change for the next attempt?" Persisting through these cycles is what builds mastery. The world remembers the successes, but it forgets the thousands of failures that paved the way. Those who appear unbreakable are not those who never fall. They are those who get up one more time, armed with the knowledge of their last fall. They have mastered the art of strategic failure. They turn every loss into a lesson, every setback into a setup for a comeback. Stop fearing failure. Start using it. Lesson 5. You are your own first responder. Forge your inner citadel. In moments of crisis, the weak mind looks outward. It searches for someone to blame or for someone to save it. It outsources its stability. This is a position of absolute vulnerability. The final lesson is the most vital. You must become your own first responder. The ultimate source of your strength, your calm, and your recovery must be you. This means taking radical responsibility for your own internal state. It is the cultivation of a quiet, unshakable core that does not get swept away by external chaos. A key part of this is mastering your inner voice. Most people are tormented by an inner critic, a voice that judges, berates, and magnifies every mistake. This is internal noise. It is a strategic disadvantage. You must learn to treat yourself, not as a subordinate to be disciplined, but as a valuable asset to be managed. This is self-compassion, not as a weakness, but as a strategy. When a soldier is wounded, a good commander does not scream at him for getting shot. He ensures the wound is treated so the soldier can return to the fight. You must learn to be your own commander. Acknowledge the hit, address the damage, and prepare for the next move. Develop a toolkit for emotional regulation. Master your breathing to calm your nervous system. Use silence to process your thoughts before you react. Use discipline to move your body, which forges not just physical strength, but mental fortitude. When crisis hits, your first instinct should not be to reach for a phone, but to turn inward, to ask, "What do I need to do to restore my center?" When you build this internal citadel, you begin to trust yourself on a profound level. You know that whatever the world throws at you, you have the resources to handle it. This does not mean you do not need others. It means you engage with them from a place of wholeness, not neediness. You are the one who is always on the scene. To be unbreakable, you must first become your own most reliable source of strength. Conclusion: these are the 5 lessons. They are not quick fixes. They are a code for living. They are the discipline you must practice until they become a part of who you are. First, embrace radical acceptance. See the world as it is, not as you wish it were, so you can act with precision. Second, use discomfort as your compass. Move toward the challenge, for that is where strength is forged. Third, build boundaries, not walls. Control the terms of engagement to protect your energy and focus. Fourth, master the art of strategic failure. See every outcome as data and every setback as a lesson. And fifth, become your own first responder. Build an inner citadel of calm and self-reliance. The world will continue to be a place of chaos and noise. People will rush blindly, speak loudly, and break icily. But you will not. You will operate differently. You will stay patient when others are impulsive. You will stay observant when others are distracted. You will stay quiet when others waste their words. Let silence guide you. Let patience ground you. Let action define you. When you have watched, when you have learned, when you understand the game being played, then you will move. And when you move, it will be with a force that cannot be ignored. This is how you rise above the noise. This is how you win. Stay sharp, stay strong, and stay silent until it is time to act.